Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Business Today with me, Abby, again. Well, the export of avocados has continued to be one of the topics of interest for many farmers in the country, even as Kenya secured a direct market in China. But with these exports, some challenges have actually begun arising. And my colleague Noah Kipkimbo is working to get to us the latest from the market players in regards to, so far, how is the business picking up and what are some of the challenges. Good afternoon, Noah. Great to see you. What can you tell us so far in regards to the export business from the fresh producers?
Well, good afternoon to you, Abby. We are right next to where we ferry our products and lift them, JKIA Crown Plaza. And this is a very pertinent topic, noting that we saw Kakuzi earlier a few months ago exporting avocados all the way to China, and they are preparing for the second batch again for export of avocado. So a lot of interest there. But again, you get some news that Norway has turned down some of our avocados because of chemical input levels in that regard. So what is happening in this sector and how can we streamline that? That's why we are here to dig deeper and make sure that we're planting the seed of right information. Right now, I'm joined by the CEO of Fresh Produce Consortium Kenya, Okisegere Ojepat. Sir, thank you very much for... let me just hit the nail on the head. Our products were blocked from Norway. Now, initially we were chatting, you say that is quite sensational. But talk to us, what happened there?
It's unfortunate that we've had a notification in the EU and that some of our products have been recalled from the shelves. This happens globally. When something happens like that, the trading partner notifies you, and you're required to then go into a root cause analysis and be able to check out what happened, what must have happened. So I do not understand why it has become like the world has come to an end or Kenyan business is under threat. I really do not understand why this is becoming this way. What we need to know is that normally when there's a little challenge like this, we basically will investigate, and then once we have investigated, we get back to the trading partner and say, hey, we found out where the challenge is, fix it and go. Kenyan avocados are not poisonous. So if there's a little contamination that has been found in one consignment, it's something that we are quickly checking out, and I know in the next few days we will be able to respond again and just confirm where the challenge is.
Yes.
But therefore, nobody should be scared about buying Kenyan avocados. Kenyan avocados are fresh. Kenyan avocados are sweet. Kenyan avocados are here. Okay. And we are going to be in business. So really, nobody should actually be scared. So listen, what we hear in the press out there is a rumor. What we know is that it's true. We have been notified, and we are doing our root cause analysis, and no reason for an alarm at all. The Kenyan grower and the Kenyan exporters must continue doing their work and allow us to engage with our trading partners and just explain and get to know where it is.
Okay. But, European market is one of those interesting ones that we are seeing a lot of changes in the recent past. When you look at the maximum residue levels, measuring those chemicals that have remained in the products in the long run, they are reducing that bar, which means it's becoming more stricter to enter that particular market. As a local market, how are we reacting? Are we changing our ways that we've been doing production and our inputs? Some of the pesticides that we're using, are we rethinking all that?
What we are doing at the moment is respond to our trading partners, not just EU, but all over the world. When a trading partner raises a concern, it's a duty of the other partner to adjust. So what we are doing is engaging with the EU, not just to withdraw pesticide, but to get to know what are the alternatives, and also engage with the EU to ask them exactly what are these molecules they have issues with, what are the issues that must be addressed. But we're not going to run away from farming. And as I have said before, we are not going to run away from pesticides. We will use them. We are in the tropics. What we need to do is get to know that we observe maximum residue levels and also get to ask our trading partners to not just wake up in the morning and change regulation overnight and allow science its position. We are engaged with them. We keep talking to them. Where there's detection, we have spoken. Unfortunately, the EU changed their way of regulation from risk assessment to hazard assessment. A hazard is a hazard, so a risk is a better way to approach. That's what is in the global. However, because they are our trading partners, we are capacity building our growers, our exporters. That's why we are here, training our people on Kenya Standard KS 1758, which allows all our members to comply, particularly in the domestic market, so that compliance is not just for export market, but compliance is going to be what all of us know. So I want to give you an assurance that the industry is doing all we can to ensure that we remain compliant.
All right.
Yep.
And even flowers, even before we come to compliance in the local and this standard KS 1758, which is very critical, not only in the local market, but how we transition our products to the international market. Flowers, for the longest time, the measuring of chemical levels in flowers was an issue. And you've mentioned this should not be big, but the question is, what is happening? Why introduce measuring of chemical levels on flowers?
The understanding by our trading partners in EU is that the same farmers, the same workers in terms of employees that work in the vegetable farms are the same ones that are working in the flower farms and within the environment. And therefore, what they're looking at here is how they handle their flowers and how safe they are. But most importantly is that we now have edible flowers. We never used to have edible flowers. Just like they're checking MRLs on our edible fruits and vegetables, they also want to check on our flowers because there's some edible flowers. And for that reason, it's common sense that you need to check how has it been handled and where there are any issues on MRLs, because some of them are edibles. And then they're also saying, listen, I'm taking the flower in my house with my family. What do I do? I just need to be very sure that that flower is compliant. Yeah, so nothing to worry about. It's something that happens.
All right. I'm supposed to be handing over briefly. Rose from Kabi, you guys have been doing training. Briefly, what is, Lucy, talk to us about the importance, briefly, the importance of these standards, KS 1758.
Yeah, my name is Lucy Karanja. I work for Kabi. Kabi is Center for Agriculture International. Kabi is Center for Agriculture and Biosciences International. Our interest is partnering with Fresh Produce Consortium of Kenya, so that they can train trainers who will then go and train other trainers who will train the producers. And what we want to achieve from this is to make sure that the consumer is aware and that he's supposed to ask for safe food in the market. We also need the media to help us to raise awareness so that the consumers can know for sure there's a Kenyan standard and our producers are supposed to produce according to a standard.
All right.
Yes.
Definitely. Thank you very much. And I believe that now this is a rallying call. If you're buying food anywhere, you ask yourself, is it safe? Is it compliant with 1758 standard? That is the Kenyan standard. And it makes sure that we are doing proper harvest and post-harvest handling of our products, hygiene, use of farm inputs, and even workers' welfare in our horticultural sector. It's being handled in the proper way. So that is the latest from the local and international horticultural sector. Back to you, Avi.
Many thanks, Noah. Can't wait to see how to get to know how the standard applies. Well, let's move on now to banking affairs. And Standard Chartered Bank, in partnership with the Strathmore University through iLab Africa, has today launched